and soybean harvest around the halfway mark now in Nebraska. Some producers might be thinking about sampling soil to see which nutrients are still there after months of drought. We talked with UNL Extension soil scientist Charlie Wortmann this week about whether to sample this fall or next spring and how this year differs from others.
Well, the big difference is for our rain-fed land, where we had a poor harvest, fewer nutrients removed than normal, and also with nitrogen we had probably less leaching conditions this year. So with our rain-fed land, following corn and following sorghum for instance, we're expecting that there is a good accumulation of soil nitrate out there, residual nitrate, that our next crop could use. Therefore, it's something we do want to give credit to in determining our nitrogen rates for next year. If our 2013 crop is going to be another cereal such as corn.
Sure.
If it's soybean, it's not much of an issue.
You're recommending that producers wait until spring to sample. Why is the big issue waiting till spring?
Well, it's a consideration. We don't know what our precipitation is going to be in the meantime. It could be that some of this nitrogen that's in the soil now, if we do get extra heavy precipitation, that it could be leached out. On the other hand, if we may want to do some application on those dry land acres this year of anhydrous ammonia.
This fall, you mean?
This fall. And if in that case, you do want to do your testing this fall to see how much nitrogen you have out there already. You always do have the option of doing a side dress application if you come up short. So you probably don't want to apply excessive amounts in any case this fall.
But the risk is that you believe it could be more variable, your soil test could be more variable this fall in dry land situations?
The variability could be there, but again, it's going to be related somehow to your yield. If your crop was able to extract a lot of nitrogen, then we expect the nitrogen to be more depleted in those areas.
And that could be somewhat hit or miss in the fields, as we've heard from yields.
It could be. So you might want to consider your yield map and doing your targeted soil sampling for residual soil nitrate. But generally with soil nitrate, we recommend that you sample at least to a 2-foot depth. And because of on the rain-fed acres, because of the shortage of water this year, there wasn't much downward movement of the nitrogen. That 2-foot depth should capture what's there pretty well.
What are the other nutrients that you're looking at and how they could have been affected this year as well?
Well, phosphorus, potassium, soil pH, these are properties that where the soil test may not be very reliable this year because of the influence of the very dry soil. Again, just for rain-fed conditions. And so if you want to grid map a field, for instance, a rain-fed field, I would suggest that you hold off on that for a more typical year because you're going to be making management decisions, based on that information for 5 or more years. And so you want to have as reliable results as you can get. We do know that dry soil conditions can affect potassium in some cases. They can affect the soil pH. We also know that our dryland crops did not take up as much nutrients as they normally do. So there's more available P out there and more potassium than we would normally expect to see.
You can find out more information on soil testing in a recent CropWatch article online at cropwatch.unl.edu.